What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new podcast. This is called The Back of the Class. My name is Jason Aiello, and I'm here with my co-host, John Pattison. This is a Shoot the Shit podcast. It's an interview-style podcast where it's me and John. We're asking each other various hypothetical questions, just interesting questions, just, whatever we think is appropriate. And the reason why we named it The Back of the Class is because me and John met at the back of discrete math of an abysmal discrete math class when I was a senior and he was a junior. And we want this podcast to feel like you're sitting at the back of the class listening to two nerds talking about some bullshit. So with all that being said, I'll let John introduce himself, where I post music content, including original rap music. And I guess, yeah, I mean, that just kind of sums it up. Similar to John, I'm really, really into Star Wars and movies. I also like sports too, but I also am a big Star Wars fan. And I mean, without further ado, I think there's nothing left to be said. So let's just jump right into it. Let's flip a coin to see who asks the first question
All right.
in the history of Back of the Class. So we're gonna get a quarter because I have a nickel in here, but nickels are just quarter impersonators. So we're
Nickels
gonna
are
get.
also my least favorite coin.
You like
I hate them. I like pennies more than nickels.
really because the
Yes.
penny is by far my least favorite. Okay, so heads or tails?
I'll go tails.
Tails. Okay. And it's tails.
All right. So I'm asking the first question.
Yep, you're asking the first question in the history of this podcast. If we were still on Riverside FM, I would do a little round of applause, but we had to downgrade to Zencaster. But thank you to Zencaster for sponsoring this podcast. And before we go any further, I'll let you ask the question, John. But first, I'd like to thank today's sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Cock, loved by most women and some men. With that being said, go ahead, John.
All right. Got some fun ones here. I know we're both big movie fans, so figured I'd start us off with, if you could live in one fictional universe, which would you choose? And there's a disclaimer to this that I need to mention because that could change your answer.
Okay.
That where you choose, whichever universe you choose to live in, the place you're at is kind of where all the action happens. So, like, if you picked Harry Potter, you're basically guaranteed to be at Hogwarts. If you picked something like DC, you're basically going to be in, like, Metropolis or Gotham. You can't say, like, peace out and then dick out and just go to, like, Kansas where nothing happens. You have to go to where the action's at. So with that said, which universe are you picking?
Man, I know that many kids dream of doing this, but like I gotta be able to use the Force. So I'm for sure picking the Star Wars universe because either way, I'm ending up at like the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, or I'm ending up like a real Sith Lord. So like, I mean, there's so many cool possibilities in the Star Wars universe. Like you could be a Mandalorian, you could be a clone trooper, you could be a Jedi Sith. So like, yeah, I think that like the ability to use the Force and also just how diverse and amazing that universe is. Like I'm not a man's man. I'm not into like war and stuff like that. But I honestly want to fight in the Clone Wars. If it was a real thing, I would have signed up for it. Like you get to travel the galaxy. So I would definitely choose the Star Wars universe. How about you?
See, this is where you would expect me to say something like Star Wars, but I had to go with Harry Potter. And here's why. One, just using magic, come on. Like, that really can't be topped.
That's pretty cool.
Also, Hogwarts is just, like, my favorite place ever. And I am still waiting on that Hogwarts letter, by the way. Not even kidding. I'm still waiting on it. And it comes with the risk of me maybe getting killed by one of Voldemort's people that's just a sleeper cell. But I say screw it. I want to learn magic. I want to learn how to just knock someone out with a word. I want to meet Dumbledore. I want to meet McGonagall. I want to eat in the Great Hall. All that. That's I would have to go there.
Have you ever seen there's like this video that someone did a comparison of like the movie to the book. It's like Dumbledore told Harry
Did
calmly.
you put your name in the Goblet of Fire, Harry?
Ye-
Dumbledore asked calmly.
Yeah, and then they show the movie version and he's like grabs Harry, he's like totally freaking out.
Did you put your name into the Goblet of Fire, Harry? Dumbledore asked calmly.
Harry! I protest! Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? No, sir.
Oh yeah,
It,
yeah. Movie Dumbledore, which by the way, there's two because they recast him after the second one, and like the because the actor died. So Dumbledore in 1 and 2, and Dumbledore from 3 through the end of the series, they feel like two different characters. But what's even funnier is that neither of those Dumbledores are accurate to book Dumbledore. Like they're 0 and 2 on
okay.
Dumbledore.
So, since I don't know too much about Harry Potter, like who's your favorite character from the Harry Potter universe other than Harry?
Oh, Harry's not even in like my top list.
Really?
Harry's the
Okay.
most boring character in Harry Potter.
Okay.
Yeah. Severus Snape. And
Oh, I
anyone
know
who's
Snape.
yeah, anyone who's read the books or seen the movies will know why Snape is the goat.
Yeah, I'm totally like butchering this, but they're like the faceless, evil things that can come get you. What are they?
The Dementors, the ones who
Yeah, the
like suck your
Dementors.
souls. Yeah.
Because I remember when I was younger, I was my brother and mom would watch Harry Potter, but I would always like not want to watch because I was so scared of the Dementors. They kind of have the same effect as the oh my gosh, how can I not remember this? Because I love this series so much. The ghouls from the Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
The
what are their names?
Nazgul.
The Nazguls.
The
The Nazguls. Yeah,
Nazgul.
like
Yeah.
that's like the Harry Potter equivalent of the Nazguls, where
Mhm.
they just like don't say anything, but they just have like that terrifying effect.
Yeah, my sister couldn't watch Harry Potter for the longest time because she got scared easily, and like her fear of stuff began at a really young age. But that's a story I'm not going to get into. And so we like documented like everything that was scary in the series. So
Yeah.
we'd always tell her when to shut her eyes, or as she got older, we'd be like, okay, now you can watch the fourth movie, but you can't watch the fifth one yet. We had to, yeah,
That's like being a kid being a kid fucking sucks.
it really
Because
does.
it's like it seems fun when you're going through it, but like once you reach 18 or not even 18, once you reach like 16 and you kind of look back at like being like a kid like under the age of 10, it's like your whole life is controlled, everything is scary. You don't understand anything about the world or the universe. You don't have any of your own beliefs. It's like okay, now you're going to karate class, now you're going to church. It's like you have no control over your life, and like it's like you also don't know how to deal with anxiety and negative emotions because you're not taught how to deal with them. But that's like a whole nother issue. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm,
being a kid is scary.
yeah.
No cap. What was the
And
movie that scared you the most when you were a kid?
I am not sure because I mainly watch Star Wars and superhero movies.
Okay. What
Um,
was there ever a movie like was is there a distinct memory of like the first movie that scared you?
oh, mm, I don't know if scared me is the right word, but
Hmm.
Temple of Doom creeped me out to the point that I went years without wanting to watch it.
Oh, Temple of yeah,
Yeah.
that one's pretty creepy. Is that the one where Indiana Jones eats the monkey brain?
He eats the monkey brain and they like cut open a snake and more snakes crawl out and Willie has to shove her
Yeah.
hand through this hole with bugs in it and it like zooms in, it like crawls under her hair and then like there's a statue with human like toes as a necklace hanging off of it and like that movie
So
actually created the PG-13 rating.
really?
Yeah, because it was
Wow, I didn't
rated. They rated it PG because it wasn't bad enough to be R. And so everyone who took their kids to see the first one was like, oh, cool, our kids can watch it. And then the kids got scared.
Yeah.
So there was so much backlash that they realized they needed to make a rating between PG and R.
That's very interesting. I did not know that. I didn't know it took them that long to make a PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, no movie really stands out to me as the first one that scared me. But this distinct memory that sticks out in my head was a Spike TV show. Did you ever know 1,000 Ways to Die? You ever
Nope.
hear about that show?
Not.
Okay, it was a show that was like semi-famous, semi-popular in like the early to mid 2000s, and it is in the name of it. It was basically they were reenacting like these really crazy deaths that people had, or really stupid deaths. Like there was one where there was this. Before I go any further with this story, I mean, I don't know if you guys could tell from today's sponsor, but like this isn't a kids podcast. It's like if you can't handle adult topics or cursing, then man the fuck up, or you're not going to make it through any of these episodes. But anyway, I'll give you guys two stories about 1,000 Ways to Die. The first one was that this lady died because, and again, I don't know if this is true, but according to Spike TV, this is a real way that someone died. She was masturbating with a carrot, and she just like shoved it too far up herself, and she offed herself. Don't.
Oh my god. Yeah, when you finish, I got something to say.
Okay. But that's just one example. As I said before, like when I saw that one, I was like, I don't know if someone died from that. But I'll give you guys. But the one that freaked me out, which it definitely seems like something that could happen, was that there was this guy. He was into bondage, like sexual bondage. But he was into that specific fetish where you dress up in a leather suit and you have someone spank you. I can't speak for that community. It's a very interesting fetish. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, get some goddamn help if you're that community.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
If you're a grown,
he's not judging, but I certainly as hell am.
If you're a grown ass person and you like being tortured for pleasure, yeah, I think you might need some help. I think there's some trauma that we got to unearth there because that's really weird. But hey, only God can judge you, right? Anyway, but this was the catch. Even though he liked dressing up in these latex suits or these, I'm pretty sure it was latex. He would get the same black suits, but they would be latex free. And the thing was that he would hire other people to spank him, like the dominatrix. He would hire women to tie him up and spank him in this suit. And so I only know this because of a YouTuber named Danny Mullen, who he did a video where he hired dominatrixes. And I didn't know this, but when you hire them, they come to your house with all of their equipment. So this guy, he hired a lady to dress him up in this suit and spank him. But the problem was that she didn't bring a non-latex suit, but he specified with her that he was allergic to latex. So it's kind of like, to make this easier to visualize, it's kind of like latex condoms versus non-latex condoms. Like they look the same, but they are different. So it's the same situation with that. So this lady brought a latex suit, and because he was handcuffed and completely binded, and he had his, like one of those, a ball in his mouth, like a gag ball, like he couldn't tell her that because he started itching, and then he realized that like he was allergic to the suit, and he couldn't say anything. So she kept like spanking him, and then this dude died because of his fetish. Yeah, it's terrible. Like honestly, like I don't know why my dad was letting me see 1,000 Ways to Die. Like I never forgot that. There was another one with this guy. He was recovering from like a car accident, so he had bandages all over his body, and he was recovering in the hospital, and the nurse would take him outside for smoke breaks, which obviously isn't allowed, but the guy was giving her money on the side to let him go out, and during one of his smoke breaks, like his chair slipped, and then he started rolling down this ramp, and he dropped his cigarette, and he just burst into flames. Yeah, it's a pretty horrible show. And when I look back on it, I was like, how was this on cable TV? Actually, no, sorry, not cable, but how was this on Comcast? Like, how was this just on daytime TV? Like, anyone could be like Spike TV was edgy as fuck back in the day. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't, dude, but I tell you, man, all the other ones I saw plenty of episodes of 1,000 Ways to Die, but the one that really stuck with me was the guy in the latex.
Yeah.
Because I was 9 when I saw that, so I didn't understand a fetish. Like I was like, why is this guy dressing up in a suit where like only his eyes and his mouth are visible, and why is he getting spanked with a paddle? And like, dude, it was so confusing. Like it bothered me so much because I think even at that age, depending on what kind of childhood you have, and I had a pretty good one, like you can discern what's right and what's wrong. And that, oh shit, I'm having like, dude, I live in Florida and the thunder is crazy. Yeah.
Oh my
the
God.
thunder is wild. But anyway, back to the fetish. Like I guess for me personally, like even at that young age, I just knew that image was wrong. Like not in like a religious way wrong, but like for me, it just got under my skin, and I never forgot it. Okay, so where were we?
Your first question.
Okay, my first question. So this is kind of a question, kind of a statement. Did you know that Tom Hanks' son is a rapper? Tom Hanks has a son named Chet.
I knew his name is Chet because he was trending yesterday because he said some really dumb shit.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, how come Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson gave birth to that?
Well, I don't really feel like they gave him a fair chance. Like his name is Chet.
Yeah.
First of all, like that's I wouldn't even name a dog Chet.
How did Tom Hanks? Why did Tom Hanks name his son Chet?
Anyway, Chet Hanks he's like the total black sheep of the family, but if you ever have the time, look up his song White Boy Summer, or just look up Chet Hanks on YouTube. Dude,
what's it called?
White Boy Summer.
White Boy Summer. I'm writing that down.
He released 2 rap songs that went like semi-viral this year, and this music video is unbelievable because first of all, he uses like hoes and strippers and like the typical women you would see in a rap video, but none of them are white. They're all like black or Asian. So first of all, I'm really impressed at Chet Hanks' diversity, you know. Second of all, like there's a scene, this is kind of a move that like I kind of want to copy for one of my rap videos in the future. So like think of this as a girl's ass and she's twerking. Right, so like he was resting his head on the girl's ass, and then she was twerking it, was making his head bob.
You know the boy got nice, cause I'm the one with the drip. West side won't slip when I come through. Bullseye won't miss, always hit my target. Made a strip off rip, I don't do chases, I just wanna hit. I got blue faces in my money clip, best believe. And that shit's all from TV.
And I was like, that's actually like really fucking funny. Mm-hmm. And like it was just a beautiful aesthetic. Like I can't believe that this is Forrest Gump's son. Like, dude, like I was reading YouTube comments, and like one of the comments was like, I need to understand Chet Hanks' origin story. like how do you go from being Tom Hanks' son to being a rapper? And like just like he's such like he does. I don't know if any of our listeners are familiar with this, but he can do a really good Jamaican accent. I would say the name of the slang, but I don't want to butcher it.
Yo, big up the youth them way out of Kingston. Me wake up this morning and me see the thing turn up. Internet gone mad. Respect, you don't know. Me soon forward a yard. Booyaka, booyaka.
And I've seen videos of Jamaican people reacting to it, and they like respect it. So he does like a legitimate Jamaican accent. I feel like he's the low-key the coolest person in the family, but also the embarrassment of the family at the same time. So yeah, that was kind of a statement and kind of a question, but I'll throw it back to you for a question.
Okay. Oh, I don't know which of these ones to do. I'll come back to the second one.
Okay.
Let's do my third one, which is, what's something you have done that you were insanely proud of, but ultimately wasn't that special? I know mine, and it involves the two of us.
Okay. Like, I'm not trying to make any of our viewers sad, but honestly, I haven't done anything in a long time that made me insanely proud. Insanely proud, man. I mean, even
I'll
just proud.
I'll just say
like,
proud.
Proud?
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't need to be insanely proud, but like you were probably more hyped up about something you did than you should have been.
Oh, there's been plenty of the. Oh, okay. I'll give you an example. I'll give you two examples. So, recent example, I have this YouTube channel called Basketball Shorts where I repost basketball highlights. And I reposted something and it got over 1 million views, which is the first time I've ever posted anything that got, thank you, where I posted something that got over 1 million views. I mean, it's not my content, but it doesn't feel good. Like, it's cool. It was like, I was proud of it when it happened. And then I was like, wait a second. Like, I was like, there's tons of people like that could do this. But the better example is when I got into college. And to give you guys a little backstory, a little origin story, before I was doing online school and on my content creator grind, I was a film student at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV. And UNLV is a really easy school to get into. They have like an 85% acceptance rate. It's a public school. And when I got into UNLV, I posted this really cringy video of myself to my Snapchat, like celebrating, like jumping up and down and like just being super loud. And I was like, I'm going to college. It's like, yeah, it's like anyone could go to college there. It was like, I was so proud of myself, but like, that was not an accomplishment at all. Like that was, it's kind of like the million views thing. It's like, I should have viewed it as like, oh, like that's cool, but anyone can do that. Like getting into UNLV was not an actual achievement. But if you guys listen to this podcast enough, you'll hear me talk a lot about UNLV and my own failures there.
Do you remember Spam and Ramen?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll visualize this for the viewers. So I'm at this guy's house, right? And he had Spam and he had Ramen. And we decided that we were going to mix them together and make Spam and Ramen, which is maybe the easiest thing to make. I think that making the perfect bowl of cereal is harder. I think making an omelet is harder than what we were making. Throw the pasta in the water, cut the Spam up, heat the Spam up, mix it together. And we were so goddamn proud of ourselves. Like, we thought we deserved like Michelin stars or something. We thought we needed to get Gordon Ramsay to come try this food. Like, this was just some like just massive like creation.
I remember like before we ate it, like I had to take a look at it on the plate, and I was like, dude, like I was like, can you believe this? And I was like, it's like that Paul Rudd meme, like where it's like, look at us.
Look at us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
Not me.
Who would have thunk? Not me.
Who would have thunk? I know, like I was like, we went from the back of Miss Voss's class to making ramen and Spam. Come on, man. I mean, no one can touch us. Where's our fucking Michelin star? Like, I don't know why, but like that moment, it just felt so. It was a cold winter day.
Well, there was like a blizzard outside.
Yeah, and like we cooked up this Spam and ramen, and I don't know why, but like we for some reason we both thought it was like so intricate. Like we were like, the ramen is perfectly cooked, the Spam is perfectly cooked. We mixed it together. It's the perfect temperature. It's plated beautifully. It was like but I will say this: we shouldn't have been proud of it, but that is definitely one of the best Spam and ramen bowls ever.
And then the thing that made it even better is that you then downed an entire box of Cheez-Its and passed out on the sofa.
Yeah, and then I told John to leave my house because like I couldn't use my big brain and look at the whole case of movies that we had to the left of us, and I was like, oh, let's just go on YouTube and just watch National Geographic. And I subjected John to like 30 minutes of National Geographic, and then I was like, okay, it's getting dark. I think you should
But
go home.
it wasn't
buddy.
even real National Geographic. It was like the top 10 craziest places on Earth, and we just kept watching those.
Dude, it was so boring. I couldn't believe that John didn't leave by his own admission.
Real. I know, right? I'm surprised I stayed. Real National Geographic is hype, though. I love real National Geographic. Well, I don't know what the hell we were watching, though.
Yeah, I have a whole at my dad's house. We have a whole case of movies to the left of us, and my big brain activity did not think to open up one of those.
But they're not stupid movies either. It's stuff like Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. It's like we have like The Sopranos, like Rome, like early 2000s gritty TV shows, like good shit. But no, I subjected John to animal videos on YouTube before telling him to go home. Dude, like that was that was one of the worst days for my eating. Like you saw me, it was like the family bag, and I ate half of it.
Yeah,
and because there was half left, and I finished it.
But you had also eaten, because you had leftovers from the day before, so you ate those, and then you ate the spam and ramen, then you downed the Cheez-Its, then you fell asleep.
Dude, because that was the day after my last day of work. And okay, then we can add this to the list of things I shouldn't have been proud of. I was so proud of quitting my job. Like, I really thought that, like, I stuck it to the man, and I was so proud of myself for putting in my 2 weeks. And I used to work at this place where we catered food to old people, so I still had leftovers. So I had leftovers, and then I had I had ramen and spam, and then I had half a box of Cheez-Its, and I had like 5 glasses of San Pellegrino, and then I passed out, and then I woke up on the couch, and I told John to leave my house. Yeah, that was like one of the moments where, like, if I wasn't riding the high of, dude, there was just something so satisfying about quitting a job that I hated. Mm-hmm. That, like, I just loved. And, like, if I wasn't riding the undeserved high of quitting my job, like, I wouldn't have felt good about that day. Because, like, I remember, like, 20 minutes after you left, and I was like, wow, I really just ate all that food, passed out, and like, we didn't even hang out. And I was like, he drove all the way up to Longmont, but then, like, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I quit my job. I deserve to have fun every now and then. So I don't know why I was using my job as like quitting a job as like a milestone in my life. Like, I was acting like I had made it or something. Anyway, more about me. Less about me, more about you. So let's jump into my next question. What is the most recent weird email or text that you've gotten?
Let's see. I don't think I get enough weird emails. I'm not sure if I can answer that question. I will say, though, this isn't like a weird email. It's just a weird thing. For some reason, I get DSW emails, and they spell my name JSUN.
JSUN? Jason?
JSUN. Yes.
Jason.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that's like a very literal way of spelling my name.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess
I can keep digging here, but why don't you tell me the weirdest email or text you've got?
Okay, so I'll tell you. Okay, I get weird calls just from random numbers. They're spam calls. Sometimes when I've picked up a few of them, right? Sometimes when I pick them up, it'll be a machine. And obviously, I just know to hang up. There's been other times, this is way creepier in my opinion. It'll be from a random number, and I'll pick it up, and there will be no one on the other end.
I hate that, dude.
Yeah.
That's like when I think I'm on the black market.
Yeah, like, it's like, why? How did this person get my number? And I'll tell you something interesting. I was watching a video about this guy who was trying to, like, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently there was this guy in New York. He was trying to expose the government for the MK. What was something called like MK Ultra experiments? it was when the government, it was a 20-year period where the government was experimenting on people by giving them drugs and all kinds of stuff, and just basically making people brain dead for their own research. But anyway, this guy, he was trying to expose the government for that, and he said that he would get phone calls and no one on the other end. And this was like early 2000s, so not the digital phone age. So that was, and there would just be no, it's like, that is a good intimidation tactic. It's like a mafia thing. It's like, if you know, the mafia doesn't even have to do anything. If Johnny Shotgun shows up at your basketball game, you're gonna, he doesn't even have to do anything. Like, you're probably gonna stop doing whatever you're doing that's messing with the mob. But I get those creepy calls with no one on the other end. I get texts from like sex bots who are like, click on this to find sex now. Like, it's like, how did you get my number? And they'll be sending it to like a group of 20 people. So it's like, I must fall into some category of people they're trying to spam. And then the last weird email I got, which I think is hilarious just for the point that I'm at in my life right now, I'll pull it up real quick, is actually, I won't go to it, but basically it's this lady in Las Vegas emailing me about house listings. And she's like, here's some house listings. Really looking forward to hearing back from you. And dude, I must have a very similar email to a business guy, because this has happened 2 times where people from New York were like, hey, Jason, are you going to be able to, I'd really love to talk to you about our investing group. Just like general business talk, you know, don't crucify me for not being on top of the terms like that. I got like business emails for a while, people being like, hey, are you going to be able to listen to my presentation? Like, hey, are you going to be able to come through? And I would just email them back and be like, wrong, Jason Aiello. There's this one guy offering me a job at like a financial firm. And I was like, should I like go like what's that Leonardo DiCaprio movie? Like, Catch Me If You Can. Like, I was like, should I just go like Catch Me If You Can mode and like just take a job at a financial firm and just show up and be like totally unqualified, but then just like learn how to do it. So yeah, but definitely the weirdest things I get are the phone calls. Those weird me out way more than the sex bot text, because I feel like they could do that to anyone. But the phone calls with no one on the other end just weird me out. It makes me think like, did I ever piss anyone off, or did I ever take a prank call too far? Or, you know, were you able to find anything?
I could not find anything. No, I guess
Okay.
I'm too normal, unfortunately.
Okay, well,
So,
since I didn't have anything for you on that one, I'll just ask you a quick short question. What's your favorite Indian food? Because I know you like Indian food.
Saag paneer.
What is that?
It's this spinach dish, and then paneer is a cheese. I'll actually go into another tab to try to get you a more like official definition for what it is.
Okay.
South Asian leaf vegetable dish eaten with bread such as roti or naan.
Oh, I can see. Oh, actually, dude, I've had that before. That is so good.
Yep.
That is so good.
And then
I will
usually
say,
get
I definitely haven't eaten as much Indian food as you, but like in general, Indian food fucking smacks. Like vegetable samosas. Dude, those are like,
those are killer.
yeah, like a good vegetable samosa on a cold day is like, you can't beat that.
We have an air fryer. It's just 15 minutes till stuff's done. So sometimes we'll just dump samosas in it, and then just 15 minutes later, just be like, all right, if you want some, get some.
All right, so for all the listeners at home, go try yourself some. What's the name of it?
Saag paneer.
Saag paneer. Go
for
try yourself
anyone
some
who wants to
paneer.
spell that, it's SAAG space PANEER.
Very good. Highly recommend.
There you go.
Okay, let's take it back to you for question number 3.
The Powerball jackpot is currently estimated at $258 million. If you woke up tomorrow with the winning ticket, what would you do? Or more specifically, what would be like the first things you would do after you won?
Oh my gosh, if I did that, I mean, first of all, I'd celebrate, because all all the problems of my life would be lifted from my shoulders. I wouldn't have to get a job or go to school or do anything ever. I could do whatever the fuck I wanted for the rest of my life. I guess I would really celebrate though, because I would not spend it recklessly. Because I'm keeping my mom as my financial advisor, and I would invest it. I would like make like I don't know, like half of it untouchable until I'm like 50, So like I like basically I would just, the first things I would do would just like, first of all, I got to keep it a secret, because the more people know that you have that kind of money, the more people are going to be asking you for it. But I would really just revel in the fact that all my worries are forever gone, pretty much.
Yeah.
And what would you do?
Quit my job. All right, peace out. I'm done. Same as you. I think I'd save most of it. I know first thing I would do, I'd buy myself a Dodge Challenger, because that's my dream car.
Go.
Get that puppy like black with like red seats.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd be nice. I'd come through for my parents, and I'd pay off the house. And then from there, it's anyone's guess as to what I would do.
I mean, like I'd probably I'd set aside like 150 million and just like see what kind of bullshit ways I can do with the other 130 million.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd definitely help my parents out. It'd be to fucking walk in the park to pay off all the things that they owe. And then I'd probably travel the world. I'd probably try every food ever.
Oh yeah.
I actually saw a car. I didn't really have a dream car. My OG dream car, like especially when I was in high school, was the BMW i8. But I saw a blacked out Maserati, which is actually like my new dream car. Just like something just like really subtle. Here's a follow-up question to that. What's the first thing you would buy? Like for yourself?
Challenger.
The car?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, man, I wouldn't even know. Like that's the kind of money where it's like, where do you even start?
Honestly, realistically, you know what anyone our age would start with?
What?
Fast food. We wouldn't change it all. We'd be like, let's hit just McDonald's. Like,
dude, I would just do something stupid, like just buy enough Big Macs to make a 3D pyramid. Anyone with a job could buy enough burgers to make a 2D pyramid. I'm talking like, you know what I'm saying? Like be able to fill it up all the way to the top. What's the first place that you travel to with that kind of money?
Greece is top of my bucket list, so I gotta go Greece. I want to go to Greece so bad.
Greece is awesome. I've always been privileged, but I was especially spoiled. I was very spoiled when I was younger. So I've been to Greece. I was too young to appreciate it though, because like I was just like, oh, here we go with another one of Dad's stupid trips. Like I was like, oh, here comes another 10-hour flight, and then I was like I'm just thinking in my head the whole time, like, man, I can't wait to be back home so I can have Wi-Fi again. So like I did not, dude. I literally was at the place where the first Olympics was, and like I didn't even grasp how cool that was.
Yeah.
But like as I get older, I have a deeper appreciation for it. Yeah, Greece is very nice. I want to go to Germany. Yeah. I definitely want to visit the UK. Actually, you know what I do? I wonder if that kind of money can buy dates with people. Like I don't even want Daisy Ridley to be my girlfriend if she doesn't want to. I just want to date with her. I just want to get some fish and chips with her, and then eat her ass if that's too much to ask. Am I right? Okay, let's move into your logger. Okay, so now I'm on question. Okay, what's your favorite memory from under the age of 10?
Favorite memory under the age of, dude, man, the possibilities are endless. There's so many. I gotta go with something close to home. Right there. See that Iron Man mask?
Yeah.
So that's a DVD of the movie. It like opens up and there's a DVD inside. So the day it released on DVD, my dad got a copy of it and then he got Culver's, and then we put a blanket on the family room floor and ate Culver's while we watched Iron Man. Like, it's definitely not like a massive like changing point or anything. I can think of much cooler memories, but just like because I love the MCU so much and Iron Man's one of my favorite movies, that just sticks out as a big memory.
The OG Iron Man is so dope.
Yep.
Also one of the first movies where like sex was not shown but implied, and I was like, why are those people kissing on a bed?
My dad always tells people, he's like, oh yeah, they're just wrestling.
We'll call that being a hero.
And a lot of people would also call that war profiteering.
Tell me, do you plan to report on the millions we've saved by advancing medical technology or kept from starvation with our IntelliCrops? All of those breakthroughs, military funding, honey.
You ever lose an hour's sleep your whole life?
Be prepared to lose a few with you.
They're just wrestling.
Yeah, like there was just some instinct inside me. Like I was just like something about that Tony Stark lifestyle I just wanted.
Yep. I once asked my dad, I was like, hey dad, could you take a break from work to go build an Iron Man suit with me? And he's like, John, do you have the materials for that? It's like, if you do, I'll help you. And I was like, no, I don't. I have a video that was supposed to come out this summer, but then a school project took all my time, but it's on why Iron Man's still the best MCU movie. So anyone who wants to hear me talk about that shit for half an hour, go subscribe to my channel.
Hey,
shameless plug.
Shameless plug. We're both struggling content creators. You know, our channels. I mean, not your channels are actually growing at a consistent rate. Right?
My MCU HQ is. The other one's like kind of not.
Okay. All of my channels are doing fine except for the one that I actually like really care about, Loki 303. That channel is more dead than Osama bin Laden. Like that channel is so unbelievably dead. Like I can't believe like just getting 10 views is like a big deal to me now. It's like oh my gosh, it's like 20 views. It's like, oh, nut in my pants. It's like that's how low the standard has fallen. You know, I'm convinced that YouTube hates me. YouTube hates me because YouTube wanted to see more videos like how to make your own Supreme. Well, guess what, YouTube?
The algorithm hunted you the hell down.
Yeah, I'm fucking sticking it to you, YouTube. I'm making rap music now like a cool person. I'm not doing your how-to videos. I'm not giving into your demands. I shouldn't be held accountable to your stupid algorithm. I'm probably getting shadow banned. Like a deadass, I'm probably not ending up in people's sub boxes because I got 1,000 subs, but some of my videos have like 5 views, and that's all my mom and I. And so it's like, dude, it's like I'm definitely like, so YouTube, I'm gonna make you pay when Loki 303 starts getting traction again. I'm gonna make you pay for that BS. But okay, I'll share with you my favorite memory under 10. This was when I was 9. It was the night before the last day of school in 3rd grade, and I remember I was sitting in my bed and I'm looking at the blinds of my window, and I was just so hyped, just like the purest joy ever. It's like the purest childhood joy, and like I can't describe it, but it's something that always stuck with me. Like that shit was like pure happiness, like euphoria, you know? And like that's the kind of stuff you can only feel at that age, I feel like, unless you're just super naive and you never have any kind of hardship. But like I was because you know what I was hyped for? I was hyped for the watermelon. I was hyped for free watermelon and my 136 slice of pizza. Because somehow, listen, it's like, I know teachers don't make a lot, but you're telling me we couldn't order 4 pizzas? Like, this is Domino's catering, bruh. Like, this is like we're not ordering from an authentic Italian place. Like, I never understood why we could only get 1 pizza and it would have to be cut into a million pieces.
Also, teacher budgets are paid for by the government, so the government was too lazy to get more than 1 pizza.
It's like we need to, you know, if I'm gonna start protesting stuff, but like stuff that no one cares about, I'm gonna be like, increase pizza budgets for schools.
Yep.
So yeah, that was my favorite memory. That definitely was way better than my last day than my last day of 5th grade, when I made a girl cry because I drew a comic about her being an alcoholic. Very advanced. Looking back on it, what, and it's funny. That was really advanced on my part, and looking back on it, I feel a little bit bad. But you know what? When I think back on the comic that I drew, it's like if you got in your feelings about that, then you're a pussy. And what's funny is that she plays soccer for Auburn now. Obviously, not going to name drop, but I never forgot you, and you a bitch for you. You fucking ruined my last day of 5th grade, calling your mom to the school and shit, making me feel bad for good humor. Listen, it was funny and it's advanced. Okay, how many 11-year-olds are calling other 11-year-olds alcoholics? Okay, and guess what? If your dad was an alcoholic and that's the reason why it offended you, guess what? That's not my problem. That's your dad's problem. Okay, so thanks a lot. I gotta say her name, but I'm gonna bleep it out. Thanks a lot for ruining my last day of 5th grade, and I even tried to apologize to you, but you looked back at me and said, "I don't even care." Well, then why were you so upset if you didn't care, huh? If you really didn't care, we wouldn't have cried in the first place, like a little bitch calling your mom to the school, making me feel bad. You tarnished my reputation, and I fucking hate you for that. And that wasn't even in your yearbook. That was in yearbook, and you ruined my last day of 5th grade, and that's why I had a terrible time in 6th grade. You made me go into 6th grade in the worst possible way. So screw you and your soccer career. That was funny. Anyway, just had to get that off my chest.
Dude, I was holding that for so long. Like he's on a roll.
But anyway, to sum things up, guys, yeah, last day of 5th grade, terrible. Last day of 3rd grade, bomb as fuck. Happiest I ever was, probably. Okay, so let's go into the 4th question.
All right. So there's a lot of animals on Earth.
Okay.
If you could be one, which would you be?
Definitely the duck, because they have the best of all of the abilities, right? They can walk on land. They like to eat bread. Bread's delicious. The people are nice to them, so they can walk on land, they can swim in water, and they can fly. And also, if you're a mom, all your little ducklings will follow behind you in a perfect row, which is like very aesthetically beautiful and very cute. So I think, and if you're lucky, wait, isn't it swans come from ducks, right?
I don't know.
I think swans.
I don't understand duck, goose, and swan like
swans.
that.
Swans are a certain breed of duck.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But that's another thing too, is that if you're lucky, you might end up a swan. So yeah, I'm definitely choosing duck because they got the best of all of the abilities, in my opinion. There are way cooler animals, but if you want to know what it's like to walk, swim, fly, and have people be nice to you, duck.
It's bullshit that they can walk, swim, and fly. How come they get all three?
Okay, so how about you? Which animal you choose?
The bald eagle.
Oh, bald eagle's pretty cool.
Here's why. They can fly. They're just the most bona fide badasses in the sky. Like the way they bring their wings in to fly through like trees and then just shoot them back out. They got massive wingspans. They are the most beautiful creatures on the planet. No, I will not be accepting any arguments. And also, it's illegal to hunt them. So if I got shot, I would die knowing that if the guy who killed me got caught, he's going away. And what's even cooler is that if you find a bald eagle in the woods, you report it, and then they bring the body to like the native tribe that's nearby, and they kind of like bless it and give it a little like funeral for the bird. Like
that's awesome.
That's badass.
You know what I want to try though? Bald eagle omelet. It's definitely illegal.
Yeah.
But I feel like that omelet would. Have you ever seen people eat an ostrich omelet?
No. That's a thing people do?
Yeah. It's huge egg. Like packed with protein. Oh, random question. Have you ever had quail eggs?
No, I want
Very
them,
good.
though.
super. You know what makes them so good is that like, okay, this is the way I like them because I've never had them fresh. I've only had them canned, so I can't imagine what the fresh is like. But I like the canned. This is a very Filipino or Asian thing to do. You go to the Asian market, you get canned quail eggs. They're going to come hard boiled. What's cool about them is that in a normal egg, right, like the yolk is maybe like 40%, right, and then the white is 60.
Yeah.
In a quail egg, the yolk is like 80% and the white is like 20% of the egg, and the yolk is way creamier, and like it's really soft. It's like a snack, like that you can pop in your mouth.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, so to recap, I would be a duck, John would be bald eagle, America's bird.
Yeah,
Okay.
America's bird.
We got 55 minutes.
We spent 25 on the first question.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of food, what's the most sketch moment you've had in a restaurant?
I wouldn't say it's sketch, but I would say it was like an overall kind of just uncomfortable feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember where my family was vacationing, but we were in the middle of nowhere, and we just found like this little lodge and a gas station on the side of the road. And we're like, cool, we'll stop there. And we stopped there, and we went inside, and I mean, this place was basically redneck central.
Mm-hmm.
And like we sat down and just got breakfast for like super cheap, and I got like this omelet, bacon, bread. It was good, don't get me wrong, but it was like crazy cheap. And like when we got out of there, it was one of those things I was like, thank God I'm out of there. I'm surprised I didn't get shot and I need a shower.
it just like felt uneasy. It felt like you weren't welcome.
I didn't feel like I should be there.
Okay, yeah, I can relate to that for sure. I felt that when I was in like super Northwest Oregon, and I was going into this like fried seafood place, and I looked so out of place. Like I was clearly the only person who didn't like hunt for oysters in their free time. Like everyone else was like Duck Dynasty beards, like wearing like all camo, and there comes me with like a NBA hoodie and like white sneakers and like ripped jeans, and like people were staring at us like we were the weird ones, and we were totally out of place there. Yeah, I haven't had that many bad experiences with restaurants though. I think so. That's all of my questions.
Oh my God. That's it. I was really little, so I don't remember this super well, but my mom would tell you in a heartbeat this was the most uncomfortable. I was in an Applebee's. It was me, my mom, my sister were at an Applebee's eating. I was a really little guy.
Okay.
And I think we were like sitting at the bar or something, and this guy came in and just sat right next to me. I'm kind of fuzzy on all the details. My mom could tell this really well, though. So we're sitting there eating, and my mom's just not getting good vibes from this guy, who's sitting right next to me, by the way, older fellow. She's like not getting good vibes from him. I can't remember if we ended up moving around or not, but so my mom was sitting there. She's like, "Hey, John, finish your food quicker. Let's get out of here." So we're eating. I finally finish. My mom's like, "Cool." She goes up to pay, and right as she gets up, the guy who is sitting next to me gets up and starts going over to pay. And
okay. So
then like my mom paid, got in the car. I guess he got in his car, and my mom took the long way home. She's like, and the Applebee's was close to our house too. She took the long way. She's like, we need to make sure we get away from this guy. So I don't remember it vividly, but I do have like enough of a memory to remember an older guy sitting next to me. And oh my, how could I forget the detail? When they went to pay, the guy came up to my mom and said he really enjoyed like eating right next to me.
Wait, and did he say anything else?
I don't know.
He just okay. Let's just take this story as it is. Like, just imagine a guy like just being like, "Hey, imagine you're a parent. He's like, "Hey, I really enjoyed eating next to your little I really enjoyed eating next to your little boy.
All right. I'll have at some point
That's
I'll have to
creepy,
get
man.
my mom to tell you the story because she can tell it really well. But
Okay.
it's
That is
unsettling.
really
It's
that's
like
definitely
it's some American Horror Story shit. It's some Criminal Minds stuff.
that okay. Yeah, that is definitely a sketch restaurant story. And that's all the questions I had for you. Do you have any more?
I do have one more.
Okay.
Okay, this might take some thought process time. You're going on a trip across the Star Wars galaxy. We had to get a Star Wars question.
Yeah.
You can bring 5 characters with you. Who is on your squad?
Okay, 5 characters. Okay. Ahsoka, Obi-Wan. Can I like mix sides, like the villains and the good guys? Like,
Go for it.
okay, General Grievous. Actually, I'll go very specific here, very Star Wars nerdy. General Grievous before the surgeries, when he was just a warrior. Now that's the real General Grievous.
Mhm.
Trying to think who else. Qui-Gon, and taking Padme.
Is there any specific reason you picked those 5?
Honestly, like, I just think like General Grievous pre CIS bad guy is one of the coolest origin stories. If you guys have never watched a video about that or read the comics about that, you definitely should. Super dope origin story. I think Disney could honestly make that into like a show. Obi-Wan for his level-headedness, like he's never gonna act too rashly.
Mhm.
Padme just to look at when I'm bored. Qui-Gon for his outside the box thinking, because I wanted to take Anakin, but Anakin, can be a little temperamental.
Mhm.
So I'd take Qui-Gon for out of the box thinking. So that covers 3 of it. Covers 4. Who was the other person I said?
You said Ahsoka.
Oh, Ahsoka. Obviously, because Ahsoka is just like as real as they come. She's just an OG. She. It's a shame that like we haven't gotten to see her in any of like the full length movies.
Yeah. All right. So my team, everyone on it has an assigned purpose. I put a lot of thought into this.
Okay.
So I went with Ahsoka because, I mean, she fought Vader, Maul, Inquisitors, and Palpatine all in like 30 minutes. So she'll know how to get us out of a tough situation. I went with the Mandalorian. Good gunslinger, good shooter, and he's bulletproof. So can't go wrong there. I went Luke Skywalker, but I went old man Luke Skywalker. Because sometimes you need a guy to just drop some like real shit and screw your head back on straight.
Okay.
And then I went with C-3PO. He's annoying. I could keep him powered off until I need him, but if I'm going across the galaxy, that's a lot of language barriers. And C-3PO can translate anything for me, unless it's Sith.
Very true.
Screw that plot line, by the way.
And that was fucking stupid.
And then lastly, I went with R2 because he's just a Swiss Army droid. He'll do everything.
Yeah. Okay, that very solid list there. Any final thoughts you got?
Rise of Skywalker still sucks.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker, terrible movie. Except shout out to Babu Frick.
Babu Frick. Who did you know? Babu Frick is voice. Oh, you haven't seen Harry Potter, so it wouldn't matter.
Oh, okay.
But
he's voiced by someone.
Once you watch Harry Potter, I'll tell you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess my final thoughts is just this episode went well. I feel like we started a little slow, but it picked up, and I'm still healing from the trauma of having my last day of 5th grade ruined because Little Miss Independent couldn't take a joke about alcoholism. Fucking bitch. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this episode of the Back of the Class. Big thank you to my co-host John Pattison. Let's see what we recorded this from August 3rd, actually at least East Coast time. We recorded this episode August 13th to the 14th for John on Colorado time. This was recorded the 13th. I'm gonna try to get this episode out by Sunday, but if that doesn't happen, it'll definitely be out by the 22nd, and that's when you guys will get this episode. So yeah, just real quick plug for anyone who made it to the end of the episode. These are my socials below. Put them right here. And then, John, if you could do the same thing with your hands.
Right here.
Yeah, there's John's socials and YouTube channels if you want to go follow him. And yeah, that's all we got for you guys. Peace out. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks whenever this episode drops.
Yep.